Hey, what's up everybody? Ralph here. So today's topic, I'm going to share with you 5 benefits of paying off credit cards. Now, recently we just got off holiday shopping and we know how that goes. People tend to overspend. People tend to spend more than they make. To be exact, like recently I just did a video about CNBC reporting that more Americans took on debt this holiday season. So you know how that goes, where people don't have money. So what they're doing is using credit cards and just acquiring more debt. And it seems that more people did that this holiday season like they do every holiday. So for me, in this video, I want to share with you the benefits of paying off credit cards and why you should make that a priority in 2022. Now, the first reason is paying less interest. Now, depending on your credit score, depending on the credit card, you can pay anywhere from 9% to 25% interest on that credit card. Now, for anyone that understands investments, or you invest in stocks, you know how much of a return that is if you were investing in stocks or real estate. That's such a great return. You're making a lot of money, but instead of putting it into something else, you're giving that to a credit card. So that's every month, every year, you're paying so much money on that credit card balance. So if you're someone that owes $5, $10, $15,000, you're paying anywhere from 9 to 25% interest on that debt to the credit card. So you want to make sure that you're knocking that balance down as much as you can. If you can't pay it off, because that's money that you could be doing other things with, but instead of that, you're giving that money to a credit card. So that's the number one thing, paying less interest. If you're someone that's managing your money properly, you shouldn't be giving any interest to a credit card. You should be paying your balance off every month, all right? So number two, what the benefit of paying off credit card debt is, you can prioritize your financial goals. So let's say if you're someone that wants to fund your emergency fund, or you want to fund a vacation fund, or maybe you want to fund your retirement fund. So any goal that you're trying to work towards financially, you can focus on that instead of having to pay that money. So let's say you owe, I remember when I owed like $30,000 of credit card debt, I was paying at least like $500 a month to the credit card. I could have been taking that $500 and putting into other things that would, maybe I'm looking to purchase an investment property. I could have been doing that, or I could be funding my retirement account. I could be doing so many other things with that $500 a month. Instead, I was giving it to someone else. So being able to pay off your credit card debt allows you to focus on your financial goals, make that a priority, and focus on things that actually matter to you most, or focus on things that's going to actually make you money instead of cost you money. So I think that's the best thing, is not, making sure you prioritize paying off that debt, is so you can prioritize, your financial goals. Because I think a lot of people struggle with that. Obviously people struggle with saving, people struggle with investing, and people struggle with creating wealth for them long term. So I think obviously the main thing is when you're focusing on paying off their credit cards, you want to make sure you're reducing that, bringing it down to zero, and making sure that you can focus on things that matter to you most financially. All right, so number three, improving your credit score. That's the third benefit. So let's say the biggest reason is, let's say you have a $10,000 credit card balance, right? You have a $10,000 credit card limit. Let's say you, on that credit card, you probably have like a $5,000 balance. Right there, because of that, your utilization rate, which is an important factor, it's the second most important factor when it comes to calculating your credit score. So if you have a $10,000 credit card and you have a $5,000 balance, your utilization rate is 50%. Now, the higher that ratio is, the worse your credit score is going to be. The lower it is, the better. So you want to make sure you keep that credit balance as low as possible. You want to make sure, if you could keep it below 30%, that's good. I try to keep it lower than that. So you want to make sure you're reducing that, because that has a huge impact on your credit score. So that's one of the most important. It's one of an important benefits of paying down that credit card. Just the lower that balance is going to be, the better it is for your credit score. And you'll see a lot of people that are maxed out on their credit cards. You'll see, if you ever ask them about their credit score, if they tell you, you'll see how bad that credit score is. But once you pay off that credit, once you reduce that balance, you'll see your credit score improve quickly. So let's say you have a $10,000 credit card, and let's say it's at $9,000. Once you pay that credit card balance, they say you pay that whole $9,000, you'll see your credit score shoot right up. So that's an important factor. That's another reason. So if you're someone that's looking to, purchase a house, get a loan for a house or auto loan, and you want to improve your credit score, that's one of the quickest ways to do it, is making sure you reduce that balance. Right? Number four is stress. We all know that debt creates a lot of stress. Now, if you're someone that's living paycheck to paycheck now, and you have credit card debt, you're just one emergency away from, really struggling really bad. So you want to make sure you're allowing the flexibility, that you're increasing that margin of error, so that if emergency does happen, that it doesn't strap you financially or it wrecks you. So you want to make sure that you're reducing the amount of stress, because also obviously stress affects health as well. And if you have no health, then it's hard to build wealth. And we want to make sure that we prioritize health, especially during these times where there's so many things going on. We want to make sure we prioritize health. And a good way to do that is reducing our stress. So if you can pay down that credit card, get it down as much as you can, or really focus on that this year to bring down that debt, then you'll see, your stress levels, reduce a little bit. And that's where we want to be, especially, as we get older, and we want to make sure health is a priority for us. Okay, so that's number 4, reducing stress. Number 5, less bills to pay. Right? We all hate paying bills. Okay, so if you've got credit cards, if you got a bunch of credit cards and you're paying, the minimum payment on that, all you're doing is adding bills. And not to say that, because I use credit cards all the time, but the thing that what I do is with my credit cards is I have that on auto payment. And not only that do I have it on auto payment, but I have it auto payment on the balance. So let's say, like, depending on the credit card you have, so depending on the credit card you have, I make sure that every month that it auto pays the balance instead of like the minimum payment. Because if you're gonna auto pay the minimum payment, you're still paying interest. So I make sure I set it up where every month is paying off that balance. So I'm not paying any interest. And that's the thing, when you have so many bills that you got to pay, it's hard to remember all of them. You got a mortgage to pay, you got an auto loan, you got a credit card, you got a gym memberships. You want to make sure the easiest way to make sure you're paying your bills on time is automated. Okay. And the things with credit cards is you want to make sure you get to a point where you're not missing any payments, because you miss one payment. Payment history is one of the most important factors when it comes to your credit score. You want to make sure you automate that so you don't have to worry about missing a payment. So that's another benefit of paying that credit card balance down, is make sure that you can focus and have less bills to pay, or you can just automate it. That would be the best way, and make sure it's paying to pay off the balance instead of a minimum payment, which is like $25, and you're still going to be paying interest on it. Okay. So those are my 5 key benefits of paying off a credit card. So if you're someone that's paying, has credit card debt, and you're just pushing it off, I advise that you got to make that a priority this year. Pay off that credit card balance, because there's too many benefits, especially during these times where you want to make sure your finances are good. Inflation is going up. You want to make sure you got your finances managed properly. So making sure you focus on these things. I'm sure going in the future that if you manage it properly, that you can, going forward, you can have a more, improved financial situation. So that's all I got for you guys today. If you got any comments or questions, make sure you leave a comment down below. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Right. So take care. Have a good one, guys. Later.